Alright, Giga fam, I got some fire content for you today. I want you guys to help, give me your input, but we are undertaking ranking every single gun in Warzone. Okay? It's not just me flapping my gums either. Although I am a 7 KD player who has gotten iridescent every split, I led the world in nukes and I've set world record win streaks, so I kind of know what the fuck I'm talking about. But we got a chat of over 100 people who is going to also give me feedback, and we're going to come to a consensus as a community of how every gun in the game ranks up. This will give us a really good template to work from in the future, so that when there's updates we can adjust the tier list, or I can do little bite-sized ones where we just look at ARs, or just look at sniper rifles, or just look at sniper supports, close range primaries, shotguns, etc. So, without further ado, let's fucking get into it. We're going to start with ARs. Okay, we're going to start with ARs. The SVA 545. Yo, Design, thanks for that Prime sub, baby. By the way, we are live on Twitch right now. I have Twitch links in the bios of all my socials. So if you want to partake in one of these live or watch my gameplay, just hit that Twitch link. But yeah, we'll start with the SVA 545. I think for now we can throw it in A tier. There's pros that are using it in World Series Customs. If you throw it in microburst, you don't even have to account for recoil control stats. You can just full send bullet velocity. And it's just an absolute beam. Picks people off head glitches. It's an absolute beastly gun. We can throw a couple of these MW2 ARs. For the most part, they're pretty undertuned. I feel like for now, we could throw them pretty much, for the most part, in D tier. They're just all kind of meh right now. They have too much visual recoil and not a fast enough TTK to justify that recoil. And I feel like there's been power creep in the game where new guns that they've added are just better than the old ones. But a couple exceptions to that would be the STB 556. We might end up actually even moving this up when we have a look at the TTK charts over on truegamedata.com. But for now, I think B tier is a good spot for it. It's like an above average gun. It's actually really good. Pretty low recoil. Really good TTKs. For some reason, it even has like a really low sprint to fire timer. So you can use it kind of aggressively. Definitely worth trying. It kind of counters that idea that MW2 guns are like completely out of the meta. Like, I actually think STB is really good. Yeah, the Kastovs both have a zero recoil conversion kit. Their TTKs though are terrible, and the bullet velocity is terrible with those. So we could probably throw them in like C tier. They're a little bit better than this other stuff just because of the conversion kit, but I mean, other than that, they're pretty bad. TAC 56, probably D tier as well. I honestly, does anybody have any thoughts on the 74U? I don't really know, to be honest. I've been meaning to swing back to the Chimera again because, as we're going to see, the TTKs are actually really good, and the recoil isn't too bad. It kind of fits in as like a decent sniper support. So we could probably throw this at the top of C tier for now, maybe end up moving it to B tier. I have not had a chance to try the M16 conversion kit. I'm assuming the base M16 is basically complete dog shit. But we could probably throw the conversion kit somewhere higher if I have somebody who can vouch for it. STB is not a S. Yeah, the highest I would probably put it is A tier, but that's kind of pushing it. We got to kind of see where everything else fits in. Ball 27 fucking rips. It's kind of fringe C, B tier, but we'll go ahead and throw it in B just because I do think it's better than these. It's almost kind of similar to the Chimera in a way, but a little bit better. The problem is you can't really run it as a sniper support because it's got too shitty of handling. and you can't really run it as like a normal primary because the recoil is a little bit too high. Maybe small map, if you're really good at controlling recoil, you could make an argument for it being like higher, but M16C. Oh, BP50, dude, this gun is fucking nasty. This gun is actually like either top of B tier or like fringe A tier. Like, dude, BP50, really low recoil, really good TTKs, really good handling for an AR. The only downside of it that doesn't make it like a lock for A tier or maybe even like knocking on the door of S tier is damage per mag. If you're in solos, you got it. If you run solos, or if you're like you don't run solo quads, like if you actually play quads with a team, so you're not as concerned about like damage per mag, this gun is fucking disgusting. We're talking about the long range primary version of it, by the way. We'll tier the conversion kit later, which is also, by the way, pretty fucking good. Let's keep moving. We can always rearrange these if we start to see that something needs moved around. The burst guns, I can't see them being any higher than D tier. After they nerfed the DG, I just think they're really bad now. I mean, you could probably, I mean, burst guns will always be good, just because when you send over a volley of like 3 bursts, you can like insta-give somebody before they can even react. That's why like the old like AUG or M16 metas from Cold War, Warzone 1, were so oppressive. But these ones just aren't very good. M13B, I don't know enough about to tier it. I'm just going to throw it in the D tier. DG56 is B minimum. I don't know. I'm going to need more vouchers for that. I would consider moving it up to C tier, though. At least. Because maybe it's something I need to try again. I haven't circled back to it in a long time. We can look at the TTKs. Before we move on to the next weapon class, we're going to look at the TTKs, guys. So don't stress. We can reorganize some stuff if we, just to double check our work. The Jack Patriot is that conversion kit I was talking about. I think it's probably like B tier, right? Doesn't it have disgusting TTKs? But it's more of a mid-range gun. It's got a little bit too much recoil. No, we'll go off of attachments. Yeah, no, this would be like assuming a fully kitted out gun, brother. All right, Holger 556 right now is like, for me, it's like somewhere A, B tier. I do think it's better than STB though, so that's tough. I would either put it at the top of B tier. I mean, I think it's better than BP50 though. It's definitely probably A tier. Yeah, but it's got a 40 mag, but the fire rate's slower, dude. So the damage per mag isn't too bad. Oh, you're talking about the Hemlock. Yep. Yep. All right, well let's try this for now. I don't think it's as good as Microburst SVA. No. This is assuming like a meta loadout, dude. Okay, this thing is kind of my baby, so I might be a little biased. MTZ 556 is fucking filthy, especially on small map. But like I can control it really well. And like as we're gonna see, the TTKs are like almost what the Ram 7s were before it got like gutted. This MTZ 556 is disgusting. Yeah, dude, aim gone bad. You gotta try that build. Fucking nasty, especially on small map. You might struggle a little bit with it on big map. Like even me, I can beam with this thing. It's just on big map, you kind of gotta choose. If you're in high velo, your recoil is gonna be bad. If you don't run high velo, your bullet velocity is gonna be bad. So if you end up running on a big map, it's more of like a mid-range gun. But yeah, no, this thing is fucking nasty. Jumps horizontally. We'll try my build, bro. The horizontal recoil is not too bad because it kind of goes side to side, but it's in this this small little spot. So as long as you aim like center mass, or even on a head glitch, unless they're like kind of moving on the head glitch, you should still be able to hit them. Really fucking good gun. I love that thing. Dude, the MCW as a primary, not the conversion kit, as a primary, they keep buffing it, and I do think it's starting to get up there. I just don't think that the TTKs just aren't good enough still. Low recoil, but the TTK it's kind of still as a pea shooter. I love the fucking gun. Dropped a ton of MGBs with it in multiplayer, but the TTK's long range are just it's still like a pea shooter, dude. It's not gonna cut it. Hemlock, I don't know, man. Terrible TTKs. Honestly, compared to some of the guns they've added, the recoil's not even good either. So I don't know. Unless someone can convince me otherwise, that's another D tier. I think the Geist is actually really fucking good. I'm gonna put it at the top of C tier now, but I could be convinced to move it up. The Geist is actually really good. It's got very competitive TTKs and pretty low recoil. Guys, but just keep this in mind. TTK is not everything, okay? Recoil is king at long range. So keep that shit in mind. But yeah, orange line is BP50. So you start to see, dude, the BP50's TTKs are fucking incredible. And then something like the Hemlock, the TTKs are atrocious, dude. It takes over a second to kill somebody at range with the Hemlock. I might even put that shit into fucking F tier. It is so dog shit. But yeah, this Chimera has 21 meters of a 675 MS TTK. So, Chimera is pretty disgusting. Rem 7 got you shouted for a couple weeks? Yeah, dude, that thing used to be so powerful. That thing used to be so fucking powerful. I mean, other standouts here on the TTK chart is like the Ball 27. I just think it has that weird variable fire rate, and then it also has quite a bit of recoil. So even though the TTKs have some compelling stuff going for them, I mean, I'm liking the balance of the Holger's TTKs and range to its recoil. Like, the Holger 556 is looking beautiful on this TTK chart. That's, like, exactly where we want it. You know? Damage fall-off isn't too bad. Rips out to mid-range. Very controllable recoil. I might even move the Holger 556 up. That thing is nasty. Let's get rid of some of these guns that, like, aren't really that compelling. 556. Oh, somebody wanted me to look at the DG56, so we'll have a look at that. The DG was... You know what? This isn't bad. This actually is not a bad TTK for a burst gun. This actually is on the fringe of being where it needs to be like a competitive burst gun. I might actually try this gun, the DG56. That's pretty fucking good. We're definitely gonna move it up at least into C tier. So, W catch right there. Yeah, I'm gonna try that gun. I might even move it up next time. I'm gonna try the DG56. But okay, we'll take that out. And we'll get rid of Advancer. I mean, Chimera we know rips up close, so. Alright, where did we... We need to add 74U and on. There's so many ARs, dude. Okay, we stopped at M16. How do some of those compare? You know what? We could probably... Let's leave Holger 556 in as like a comparison point for new guns we add. Alright, and then we can go... You find M16. Okay, you can add from here. Oh, dude, you guys are gonna get to see the MTZ 556. It's so good. Oh yeah, baby. M13B is your love. Sheesh. Yeah, M13C rips up close. Holy shit. This is like competitive with subs. Falls off horribly, but this could be an interesting sniper support. Because it's got, like, even without attachments, almost 20 meters of damage range. It's going to have bad handling compared to a sub, but that could be a fun one. It's not like it's like an A tier, but... M13B. Oh, wait, M13C. Yeah, interesting sniper support. Cool. Yeah, dude, see the Holger 556? It's so good. There's even ranges where it beats the MTZ 556. Actually, let's compare those two. MCW and M13. Wait. There we go. Damn. Dude, Holger 556 is better than I thought. It actually beats the MTZ at a lot of ranges. Holy shit. Let's look at it on combination though. Wow. Dude, I was sleeping on Holger 556 a little bit. It's actually really, 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 really good. The fact that it goes neck and neck with the MTZ and has less recoil. Oh. Dude, that is nasty, nasty, nasty. We're probably going to move that one up a little bit. Really good. MTZ 556 has great TTKs too, though. And it's got like a more forgiving fire rate, so even if you miss a shot or two, you're going to still win your gunfight. So I think those are both really good. But yeah, you can kind of see the MCW falls off a lot at long range. It's killing in around a second. 1,000 milliseconds at long range. That's not very good. Yeah, I really don't like to run guns that kill in slower than 900 milliseconds at range. Otherwise, you're just gonna be like tickling people at long range. It's not good. All right, let's keep the Holger 556 up, and let's add the rest of them and see if there's any outliers we missed. Anything else we need to move around? I still think MCW is really good though. Just I don't think it's meta. Some people have claimed it's meta after Season 4 Reloaded, but not quite. These all have the same TTKs, by the way. I've looked. Or we'll throw Burst in there just to make sure. I don't know how he has it organized. Alright. Let's check these out. TAC 56 is fucking dog shit. We're just gonna remove it. Wait, did I add it twice? Yeah, I did. That one's really, really bad. Dude, the Geist. Wow, Geist? We're gonna move the Geist up. Because a 650 millisecond TTK out to 25 meters, probably not that important on big map. On little map, where, like Rebirth, where you're gonna have to, you know, potentially use your AR at closer ranges. Dude, this is really good, and that's without attachments. Like, that thing fucking rips. I think it has really bad damage fall off. So that's unfortunate. But yeah, on small map, that's a really, really compelling reason to use it. So before I forget, I'm gonna move that up into B tier. That's sick. The recoil is not bad on it either. There's definitely a couple of usable Modern Warfare 2 guns, guys. Look at Ram 7, dude. They absolutely gutted it. The orange line, terrible. I'm probably gonna move it down, honestly. They fucking destroyed that gun. Alright, guys. Let's get into the LMGs. LMGs, like, they can be such a broken weapon type in the context of Warzone. Like, just the oppressiveness of having a 60, 100 plus mag or clip is insane for holds. And, you know, they don't do a good job of balancing LMGs, guys. LMGs should have way worse, like, handling stats. Like, there's cases where LMGs will have better handling than fully kitted out ARs just because they don't have to have a magazine that brings down their handling, right? Because since they just come stock with a 60 to 100 rounds, you don't have to put a mag on them like you would on the ARs, which it actually ends up being that the LMG has better handling. So I mean, LMGs can be crazy. That's why we've had so many LMG metas in the history of Warzone. And like, make no mistake, we're in one right now. At the World Championships, even on small map, everybody was running Holger 26. So we're gonna throw that up into S tier for now. Not my favorite gun personally, but you can't deny its power. Right now, it just has the best. It hits that sweet spot that a meta gun needs of bullet velocity, recoil, range, less damage fall off, good TTKs, forgiveness with the TTKs. Even if you're not hitting all chest and headshots, you can still get a good TTK. Like, a Holger 26 is just amazing. Yeah, TS. Dude, there's been some weird stuff like that where they just have like bizarre like attributes to a gun. Eradicator. I mean, dude, a lot of these are really good. I think the Eradicator is at least B tier. Like, The irons are clean. The TTKs are decent. The recoil is decent. It's just kind of slightly above average in almost every way. So it's a pretty dope gun. I definitely think you guys should give it a try if you want to just run something fun and different. The TAC Evo, I'm probably biased on this. I think people sleep on this fucking thing. It slaps. The thing is, inside 50 meters, this thing beats almost everything. That's an insane damage range that you can leverage. Yes, it shoots Ps past that range, but the thing is it has like no recoil. So although there's guns that beat it past that range, it has less recoil than them. So to me, the downside of it is not the TTKs. The TTKs are awesome. I'd be down for that damage profile on any gun. The downside of it is going to be the handling, open bolt delay, things like that kind of slow the gun down. But if you're good at kind of like pre-firing to defeat the open bolt delay, and like kind of holding the right trigger down as you ADS to kind of make up for it having a slow ADS time. And the thing is, although its ADS times are slow, it actually has really cracked out like strafe speed and movement. Like, just don't take my word for it. Look at it. Look at the stats in the inside the game. The strafe speed's really good. Like, you'll see me kind of do little jiggle strafe, like peaks and like weaving in snaking. Like, you can do some crazy shit with the Evo. Really good. Really good. Probably my favorite primary in the game. The only downside to it right now is that it has an open bolt delay, so by the time, if you're not good at pre-firing it, you can get your head taken off by a Kar 98, since we're in the middle of a sniper meta, before you even get bullets off. That's the one downside of it. I don't think it fits in great with this meta. Other than that, though, it's a fucking beast. Bruin, they just nerfed. So, I don't know. Probably like C tier. It's not terrible, but after the nerf, it's not great either. DG I have mixed feelings about because the TTKs are bad now. TTKs are not good anymore, but my god, this thing has like no recoil. Probably some of the best recoil in the game. That's what makes me feel like it still actually is probably B tier. You feel like the Evo kicks? Dude, you gotta try my build then. Type !Evo. That thing has no recoil, dude. Pull-em Yacht is actually really fucking good. It's gonna be either at the top of B tier. We're just gonna put the conversion kit up, because if you're gonna run it, the conversion kit is basically just the better version of the base gun. It doesn't change the gun that much. It just makes it have like a higher fire rate and better recoil. So definitely run the bullpup kit on it. Better handling as well. Yeah, the slow bullet velocity is a bummer, but I think the recoil is good enough that you could kit it with like full bullet velocity attachments and get it at least somewhat closer to where it needs to be. But yeah, I guess that's a good point that I would keep it out of A tier for. Okay, these MW2 LMGs, kind of hard to rate. They're just too shaky to fit into the meta for the most part. So unless someone can give me a compelling reason otherwise, I'm just going to throw most of them into D tier. Yeah, it's unfortunate. HCR actually is probably a little bit better than the other ones. Just because it has like very little recoil. But I don't even think it makes it into C tier though. Bad TTKs. Dude, the wrap though, they just buffed it and it already had a pretty good time to kill. So I could kind of see the wrap making it into... Oh, it might squeak into B tier, dude. Because it's pretty... the recoil is very manageable and the TTKs are pretty good. Like, it's a fun gun to fuck around with. I mean, C tier might be a better spot for it, but I mean, it's definitely worth giving a shot. All right, let's have a look. What do we got going on? Any surprises? Any surprises on the TTK charts? God, look at the Rawl, dude. The Rawl has the worst TTK. I might put that fucker in F tier. That is so shit. That slow fire rate of an LMG has that bad of a TTK. That's just brutal, man. That used to be my baby in Warzone 2. Unfortunate. Alright. Oh, I need to put the conversion kit on the Pull-em Yacht. There we go. Look at this white line though, chat. The Rap H is nasty. It beats like all the LMGs. I'm gonna leave Rap and B tier, dude. It's good. It's got a really good TTK. And then Holger 26, man. Just has less damage fall off than the rest of the guns. But yeah, look at the Evo, man. Without attachments, almost 40 meters of max damage range. Insane. So. Yep. The outliers definitely is going to be that Holger 26, though. Like, there's no reason that it should have this much less fall off than the other options. So, it's definitely the best one. I mean, the Rap beats it, but like the Rap has a lot more recoil and worse handling and shit, so. Way more visual recoil, too. Alright, guys. Pistols are up. For the most part, they're kind of bad, but there's a couple like weird outliers that are really like, you can run like dualies with them and like spam people close range. Or there's some conversion kits that kind of make the gun more akin to like a SMG. But I think the core, you know, I'm just gonna throw like a lot of these into C tier because I know with dualies they can be like okay, kind of cheesy, somewhat usable to like fuck people up in buildings with. But I think outside of that use case, they're not very good. So they're not versatile enough for me to put them higher than like C tier. I think the Stinger, I don't even want to talk about the single one. I think with the Akimbos, like this thing shoots up to like B tier. Like I don't even think anything can touch it close range. You need to check TTKs for Akimbo. Which one? The GS, the Magna, or this one? Oh, the 50 caliber GS. Yeah, I've heard about that. We can throw some of those that have like truly broken close range TTKs up into B tier. The Renetti is actually really good as like an SMG. Like probably better than the dualies. Renetti. We'll have to look at where SMGs shake out because this thing is basically an SMG. The Jack Ferocity conversion kit on the Renetti. But depending on how the SMGs shake out, I might be convinced that I could move it up to B tier. We'll do SMGs next. Dude, this Jack B. Holder rifle kit for the tier is insane. Like, you can two-shot people in certain situations out to, like, a decent range. And, like, let alone even if you three-shot them, it's still a decent enough time to kill. So I could probably put that in B tier. I don't know. All these, I think, are just complete shit. Like, F tier. Like, unless someone knows of like a weird broken build for them, I think they're fucking horrible. The Siege is probably D. I think there's better options now if you really want to do like water pistol shenanigans. Yeah, the base tier is probably F tier. Stinger, probably same thing, like D-ish. The F-Tech Siege is F. Oh, did they just like murder the TTK on it? I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I don't really even feel like we need to get into the TTK charts on the pistols. I could probably look at. Let's pick a couple though that are like isolated broken shit. The 50 GS Akimbos we'll look at, and the WSP Akimbos we'll look at, and then I want to move on. This one, I want the... Oh, he doesn't have the conversion kit up for... Oh, wait, there it is. Akimbo. Stingers. Yeah? Oh my god. The TTK is so fast. 440 millisecond TTK is busted. Out to 11 meters, too. 12 meters without attachments. That's crazy. You'll just win every fight inside buildings with that thing. Like, you'll beat shotguns. Crazy. Not very versatile, though. And then what was the other one you wanted me to look at? The 50 GS? Or no, the 50 cal. This one. How do I make it akimbo? With the rear grip? Oh. Oh, dear God. 360 MS out to 23 meters. You kind of have to get lucky, though, to hit some of your shots, but... like, there's going to be times where you do hit all your shots, though, and they literally melt. Totally broken. You want me to look at the tiers aftermarket? Alright, bet. Yeah. Thing is, it's bursts of damage, too, so, like, if you're good at, like, shouldering, you could do some nasty stuff with this one. Oh, my. You have to hit chest, though. If you hit, like, lower leg, it's going to be a 3-shot. So, yeah, really good. Really good TTK on the Jack Beholder rifle kit as well. So, definitely some interesting options, but none of them are as versatile. That's why we're not going to put them higher than like B tier. They're broken in their best use case scenario. So if you're good at kind of putting yourself in position to take advantage of that, it's going to be nasty. Probably pair it with like a versatile primary, but outside of its niche situations, it can't be like meta. Meta guns to me, it's like strong and usable in a variety of scenarios. You can always kind of rely on them. But definitely some interesting cheesy stuff in the pistols. The biggest and arguably most important weapon class in the game is the SMGs. Unless you're running some kind of cheese or a shotgun, you're always going to have an SMG in your loadout. Most people are going to run SMGs even with their sniper. They're just so strong and awesome. I think what really exemplifies that right now is the Superi 46. Whether someone's running the meta sniper, which we'll talk about later, or the Holger 26, or whatever AR they like, they usually have a Superi with it. Insane handling. There's builds that can get over 8 meters per second tac sprint, which is one of the fastest builds we've had in the history of Warzone. There's strafe builds that are crazy. There's sniper support builds that have insane range. Like the Superi 46 is probably the most versatile gun in the game. I can't say enough good things about it. It's so good that I have a hard time getting gameplays for guns on YouTube because I end up just using the Superi the whole time. I'll make a Holger 556 got buffed video, and then I'll just use my Superi the whole fucking game. It's so good. Like, we might even argue that it's Giga tier. I know they tried to nerf it, but it's got... like, the TTK is not even what makes it so great. It's the handling, the recoil, the range. You know what? Fuck it. We're putting it in fucking Giga tier. This is a fucking Giga Dad gun, baby. This thing is a fucking monstrosity. I love it. Any fucking objections? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Superi 46 is fucking Giga tier. Just hit your shots, TS. It's not like it has bad TTKs on combination shots. It's still decent. So good. But we got like 1 million subs to get through, so we need to move on. Jack Revenger kit, which is a BP50 conversion, got nerfed, but it's still really fucking good. We can just throw it in B tier. MX9, tiny mag, fucking terrible. The Vel is supposed to be halfway decent. I haven't used it since Modern Warfare 3 dropped, but we can throw it in C tier. I'll take you guys' word for it. Lockman sub, it's like a shade of its former self. Like, I hate to see my MP5 this bad, but it's just not good. If you want to use the MP5, just use the Shroud with the conversion kit, okay? That's like a probably top a C tier gun. Really good TTKs, crappy handling, and bullet velocity. So, I don't know. Decent C tier gun. The Horus with no conversion kit is a monster up close. Like, definitely at least B tier. It's a monster up close. Striker, also a beast. Probably outside of the Superi, the most versatile SMG. You can get it to have really good handling, range, bullet velocity, really easy to control. I love it when I get it on the ground loot. And I mean, I've kitted it out a couple times and dropped bombs on rebirth, so it's very good. It's very good, just not quite meta. The Swarm is a monstrosity up close, but not very versatile, so we'll put it C tier. AMR9 is dog shit. Terrible TTKs now, after they nerfed it. I don't really know much about its conversion kit. it's like a less consistent version of the base AMR, and the base AMR is not very good either. So, not my cup of tea. The Jack Nightshade Rifle Kit, conversion kit for the DG, is actually kind of insane. It gets really bonkers TTKs and range for like an SMG replacement, but not very good handling or damage per mag, so we could put it at the bottom of B tier. I do think it's better than the Shroud, though. And we can debate that if you want. The Rival 9 has crazy range. I'm tempted to put it at the bottom of B tier. It's got like a 650 millisecond TTK out to like some obscene damage range. Really good like sniper support. Minibok F tier. I don't care what dad mode says. Vaznev, kind of like the MP5, just not as good as it used to be. Unfortunate. D tier. Ram 9, they fucking gutted. This thing shakes like a shitting dog. I hate this gun now. Used to rip up close. I don't think it has terrible TTKs, but it's just so hard to use for like not a good enough payoff with the TTK. So yeah, we're putting it D tier. The Fennec, I have to think it's just like a D tier gun. I don't know. You could probably spray and pray people and do okay, but just not as good as some other stuff. WSP 9 is fucking disgusting. The only reason it's not as good as superi right now is just because of the mobility the superi gives. But the WSP has better TTKs in most situations, more consistent TTKs, and really easy to control, really good range. I personally, a lot of people will disagree with me on this. I don't like open bolt delay on my subbies because most fights aren't just like a brain dead, like I shoot you, you shoot me, rock'em sock'em robots, okay? A fight against a good player often will be mixy. It will be, we're moving around. You chow me and then dip behind cover and then re-chow, maybe get a plate in. There's going to be multiple times you're pulling the trigger in that fight, okay? It's not like using an LMG and spraying at someone in the open where open bolt delay hardly even fucking matters, you know? I feel like just try to run this thing in ranked iridescent and let me know how many times you get shit on by a good player. That's why it's just not like meta for me. But I will put it at the top of B tier because those TTKs are disgusting, and I know a lot of you really like it. Striker 9 they gutted, but it's probably still like usable C tier meh. Really wish they wouldn't have gutted it though. It's a really fucking cool gun. Really cool designed gun, but after it was meta for a while, they just nerfed the shit out of it. ISO 45. It was like weirdly usable at the beginning of Urzikstan, but then they nerfed it. So now I think it's D tier along with most of the other MW2 subs. Unfortunate. Hurricane. Dog shit. PDSW. I want to say it has really bad TTKs, but I don't know. It's fun to use. Doesn't it have like weirdly high bullet velocity? So it's kind of fun to dick around with. HRM is still like B tier. I can't even get my son to take it off his loadout. I think the TTK is like 680 MS, which is pretty bad. But it's not horrible. And then it has like really cool builds with like really good handling. Or if you go with that like Archangel looking barrel, it has you know, really snappy bullet velocity and good damage range. So it's still usable. You can still succeed with it for sure. I still see a lot of people run it. So obviously it's popular. Bass P they've nerfed and put it in the bin. I mean, same with all these MW2 guns. Which one do you think is C tier, Sanchez? This is F tier because it doesn't have enough like magazine capacity. Like I think you have to run like a 20 mag with it or something. Terrible. How are we looking on the subs, guys? Anything anyone disagrees with? I mean, I could see WSP9 going to A tier, but it's kind of a hard sell. Oh, the MCW conversion, dude. We need to put that. That's Jack Raven kit, right? Yeah. Okay, Jack Raven kit for the MCW, which basically converts it into an SMG. This is a fucking A tier gun. Like, The thing about it is there's a compelling reason to use it over superi, which is way more consistent TTKs and better damage, even better damage range. But in exchange for that, though, you get way worse mobility, handling, sprint to fire, and weirdly enough, really bad bullet velocity. So I still think superi is like a lot better, but the MCW is really fucking good. Scimitar. Oh, here it is. Sorry about that. Okay, almost missed it. This thing is disgusting. It's just, people don't realize how shitty the sprint to fire is. It, like, almost kills the gun. Everything else about it is great, except for maybe the movement speed. But if you're kind of a slower paced player, you can really make this thing work. It's such a beam, very low recoil, amazing ranges, really competitive TTK, just shit handling, okay? And me, I'm not really known for being the most aggressive player, but I like to be able to run fast because that enables me to do like big crazy flanks and like gas plays and rotations. It's just too slow for me. But other than that, great gun when you put the conversion kit on the Horus. I would probably put it B tier, but like high up in the B tier. This is what I mean. Look at the MCW's range and TTK. Not only does it have a better TTK than the other SMG options, it has a better damage range. All the way out to 20 meters, you're ripping people. Such a good TTK profile. Like I said, if you're going to use it over superi, you're sacrificing handling stats and bullet velocity. So for me, definitely not as good as the superi, but man, that TTK, like if you like to hold angles and you don't chow people long range, where that bullet velocity is going to get you in trouble, like, dude, anything inside 20 meters, you're going to fucking delete people. So good. Superi, like I said, not TTKs that make it amazing, it's the handling and shit. Horus destroys people up close. The WSP9 has amazing TTKs if you remove open bolt delay. If you remove open bolt delay, it's got crazy TTKs that compete with that MCW, but I don't know. A lot of the time, open bolt delay is going to matter, so we could like leave that in. This is the conversion kit one, right? Yeah. Really good damage range on the conversion kit Horus. Wait. See, but that's what's weird, dude. Like, the conversion kit Horus still is only like neck and neck with the superi, and then it's just way worse handling. I might move it down, dude. I feel like that conversion kit is overrated. It's the bane of everyone's existence. The freaking shotguns. Everybody's terrified of a shotgun meta. I honestly think if they keep nerfing SMGs, we're going to end up with one. Dude, go watch my most recent YouTube video with the haymaker. Like, dude, the hot mics you get with the fire rounds on this thing, it's very reminiscent of the old broadside, like, or the Origin from Warzone 1. Like, haymaker is an easy fucking A tier. It might even be like S tier. Like, it is so fucking good. I would way rather use it than like any of the other SMGs, but the superi. Like, haymaker is fucking disgusting. Like, holy shit, so good. The brand new Reclaimer, it's probably the best pump shotty just because they finally gave a pump shotty a low sprint to fire timer so that you can actually like shoulder, do movement in between pumps. Like, the Reclaimer is very good. Like, it's definitely at least like B tier. Lockwood 680. Yeah, I think if you barrel stuff someone, you can one-shot them with the right build. So, I mean, that's got to put it at least at like the top of C tier with the right build. And the thing with the Lockwood 680 is it's always worth circling back to and having a look at, because there's going to be times where they accidentally break it again. They've accidentally broken it and given it a one-shot like 6 times. So it's kind of always something worth like at least trying. The MX Guardian, I don't know anything about. Dude, I've been getting gifted sub-chows in my Twitch live stream for using MW2 guns, and I keep using the fire broadside. It's fucking good. Like, it's very good. Like, it's like a top of B tier at least. It's not as good as haymaker right now. That's why I'll put it a tier below haymaker. But it's the only reason it's not as good as haymaker is because it's really slow. The haymaker is a lot faster movement speed wise, so you can actually like most of the time get in close to like make people panic and, you know, decimate teams with your fire shotty. But other than that, the broadside's like pretty much just as good as the haymaker. So that it's fun to mess around with. Plus it has a faster fire rate, so I feel like it's even more terrifying to play against. Call of Duty just doesn't give a good enough reason to use them because they're like way harder to use, and there's not a payoff for that return on, like there's not a return on investment for that extra effort. Like, why am I gonna use the fucking, you know, DMR unless we happen to be in a meta where it's like broken when I can just spray somebody with a 0 recoil AR? Like, it makes no sense. And a lot of them are held back by mag size, ammo type. So I mean, like, I just feel like most of them are gonna be F tier, you know? Maybe fucking D tier on some of the like hard hitting ones, like the, you know, Enforcer, TAC M, SO14, EBR. I mean, if you're good, you can body people with them, but there's just, it's so much easier to spray somebody with a AR. The interceptor still resets itself every shot, so like even if you 3 or 4 shot somebody, it's still gonna be pretty fucking horrible to have to rotate on. But other than that one scenario, it's pretty bad now. The M56 is like probably B tier. Like, you can just murder people with it. Like, it's probably the closest thing to like a usable DMR that I'm aware of. Same with the Torrent, it's okay. These are all dog shit. The Lockman 762. The FTAC Recon, if I could find it. Terrible. The Carrack, I think that's like a D tier, unless someone knows something that I don't. MK2 is fucking F tier. There is a conversion kit we need to talk about for it though. The Jack Wardens, which turns it into the Akimbo Model 87s. I forgot about it in the shotguns. This thing is like right up there with the Reclaimer 18. So good. So good. You basically 2-pump people by shooting both of them at the same time twice. So very strong. And a faster fire rate than the Reclaimer. Little bit harder to use though. I feel like Reclaimer is better for most people. But you can do some crazy shit with the Wardens if you're good. Crossbow, I don't fucking know or care. Not my cup of tea. Maybe someone in the chat can give us like something to go off with that, but yeah, that's about all I got for like those like marksman rifle, like spammy type, like, I don't know. Call of Duty just doesn't do a good job of balancing those guns. They either randomly make one completely broken and overpowered, like the DMR from Warzone 1, or the Interceptor from the beginning of this game, or like they're just complete dog shit, no point to use them. So it's unfortunate, but that's just the way it is. Let's do battle rifles next. Subverter, I think, is easily the best fully auto like battle rifle right now. Really, really, really good. Like, easily, like, we can throw this up in B tier. Probably at the top of B tier. And it's like knocking on the door of A tier. Really good TTKs. Difficult to master recoil, but easy to learn. Like, you're not going to map people with it unless you're really, really good with it. But I think in a skilled player's hands, you can do some dirty things with the Subverter. And I don't see them nerfing it anytime soon. So if you want to, like, push the skill gap a little bit and master a gun, I think it's a really good candidate for that. And it can kind of be like your little fucking Giga tier gun. Really, really, really strong. I think they gutted the Squall, right? So that's like a D tier gun. Used to be monstrosity. SOA may be A tier. I could see that. Sidewinder is probably another B tier gun. Hard to control, but you get rewarded with really nasty TDKs. You need to use the conversion kit for it though. MTZ 762 is probably another B tier gun. Like, honestly, to me, the MTZ 762 has like easier recoil even than the MCW. It's just a pea shooter now, and it has a really bad magazine capacity, 30 rounds. But if you're a low skill player and you just want to vibe and have a gun they're never gonna nerf, MTZ 762 could be a fun one. That's why I put it B tier. TAC V? There's always TAC V stands in the chat, but it is ass. Like, bottom of C tier. Like, people will try to tell me this thing is meta. Please go shoot it in the firing range and then compare it to, like, the fucking Holger 26. Like, I don't even want to fucking hear it, bro. TAC V sucks. The Bass B, they, like, changed the gun's fire rate. It's a weird gun now. Like, it has, like, no recoil, but really bad TTKs. So we could probably put it... I mean, it's definitely better than TAC V. TAC V lost its shine in MW2, facts. Yeah. I mean, dude, there's been metas where it was really good and competitive, but not for a long time. Just want to show you guys really quick, like, where that subverter sits, and then we can decide if maybe we want to bump it up. I feel like the closest comparison is, like, the MTZ 556. Dude, if the subverter has better TTKs than MTZ 556, like, we're moving it up. Holy shit. It actually has way better TTKs. Oh, man. That's crazy. Dude, I might need to throw the subverter back in some of my loadies. Oh, because it has better chest shots. So, okay. The subverter, again, this kind of plays into its theme of being difficult to master. If you can master this gun and hit chest shots, you will dominate guns that even have, like, the best, some of the best TTKs in the game. But if you can't master the recoil and you can't hit chest shots, it's kind of a middling TTK. So I think top of B tier is a good spot for it. I just think it's a little bit too hard to use to bump up to A tier, but man, if you can master that thing, ooh, that's why you have people that, like, are, like, big fans of it, because they probably have taken the time to master it, and then it's just so good you'll win most of your fights. So I tend to favor consistency, though, because even if you are good, the servers are shit, you're gonna get desynced on, you don't have aimbot, hopefully, right? None of you guys have aimbot, right? So you can't hit, I don't care if you're biffle, you're not gonna hit only chest shots. So I want the consistency, me personally. Especially when there's options that have a similar TTK that are more consistent. But yeah, I mean, that's not to say it's not good. It is really good. One-shot sniper is too strong right now. So, spoiler alert, one of these is going to be Giga tier. Okay? And we'll get to that in a bit. It's not the longbow. That's like D tier, maybe even F tier. SPR, like, why would you ever use a bolt action rifle that can't one-shot when there's one-shot options available? Makes no sense. All these guns that could one-shot are going to make it at least into C tier. Like, if you can put explosive rounds on a gun and one-shot someone's face, like, they're at least C tier. Like, that's just such a powerful capability. If they ever nerf, like, some of the other one-shot snipers that are just better overall, like, these could creep into use, you know? So if it has access to explosive rounds, it's going to be strong. It's not going to be meta, but it's going to be strong. If they can't one-shot and they're bolt action, they're fucking pointless to use. So that's why, like, some of these, like the SPR 208 are going to be F tier. The signal doesn't one-shot, but you can still spam people, so it's probably C tier. Okay, now we are getting into the one-shots, which are nutty and so strong. The the cat infinite one-shot range, very cumbersome though, so we're gonna put it at the bottom of B tier. Mainly just because there's other options that do what it does better, but I mean, obviously infinite one-shot range, really good. The stalker, we can throw that in B tier. It has a capped one-shot range and worse handling than another gun we're gonna talk about. I mean, it can one-shot out to a decent range, so it's pretty good. Dude, the MRS, very compelling reason to use this gun, which is, it has a build where you can charge it up, and then it has, like, almost hit scan bullet velocity with a one-tap potential, and really good penetration. Insane. Then if you throw, what is it, like, I can't remember the name of the ammo, but it gives it better damage values. You can one-shot 2-plate targets even without hitting them in the head, if I'm not mistaken. So the MRS has like, it's definitely a hard scoper's like wet dream, but it's like definitely fucking A tier, like maybe even S tier. Like, it's insane. The only reason it's not a no-brainer S tier is because of this fucking gun. They keep nerfing it, but the Kar 98 is insane, dude. I think I have like 150 KD with it in Rebirth. Granted, I hardscope it, but like, that just shows you how strong it is. Even after the nerf, it still has at least like 70 meters of one-shot range. Ridiculously fast fire rate. I actually prefer it after the aim assist nerf because now it just feels like less clunky, more smooth for my tracking and switching between targets. A high skill player is going to love it even after the nerf. And it's got really good bullet velocity. So it's an easy no-brainer Giga tier gun. This may be a hot take. I don't want them to nerf it again. What I want them to, because it's so fun to use, what I want them to do is to buff other stuff so that we're in a place where there's lots of really powerful, fun to use guns. I know that might be crazy, but that's what I would like. You think we should bump up the cat? I mean, I'm down. It's a one-shot sniper with infinite one-shot range. And if you don't want to use the charge-up barrel and you want an infinite one-shot, it's probably your best bet. Alright, superstars, this is my finalized tier list. It was a huge undertaking, but I think we pulled it off with the help of my Giga fam over my Twitch livestream. If you like this content, make sure you like and subscribe, comment on the video. I will be keeping it updated. I will be organizing it into smaller chunks so that we can really dive in deep with, say, long-range primaries specifically. So definitely turn those noties on. And hey, just give me one piece of feedback. Let me know one gun, at the very least, that you disagree with the placement, and we can talk about it down in the comments. I will try to answer every single comment.